Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Thursday, so they tell me, Thursday, February the 27th. We're here to look at new releases very quickly today that have been published this week. On Thursdays, we look at fantasy and science fiction, which we will do, and we'll do our best to also do a bunch of the romance that we didn't get to yesterday. Sorry about yesterday's morning show. For some reason, in my area, the internet was out for a while, so it didn't come back until an hour later. And so sorry about that. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They will go for 2.5 hours. Our sprints after that are on Saturday, so we do them every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Good morning, Elena. How you doing? You are good. Good to hear. I am a hard worker. Yesterday I worked at Big Sunday. We had lunch at Wendy's, and then we went to Dave & Buster's. Well, that sounds like that was a very good day. Did you reach your 30-book goal the other day? I apologize. I didn't have a chance to ask you that before. Let us jump in. We will start with our regular fantasy and science fiction. Now we're just only going to read the first paragraphs of these for the most part, so we can get to everything. First up, this one is probably much anticipated. It's the 5th in a fantasy series. This is called The Dark Mirror. It's by Samantha Shannon in the Bone Season series. Well, I'm going to have to read more than the first paragraph because it's only one sentence. Everything is about to change. Paige Mahoney is outside the Republic of Sion for the first time in more than a decade, but she has no idea how she got to the free world. Half a year has been wiped from her memory. Her journey back to the revolution soon takes her to Venice, where the Domino program has uncovered evidence of a secret Scion plan. Before Paige can return to London, she must help the network unravel the sinister Operation Ventriloquist, which threatens to bring Europe to its knees in weeks. Good morning, Mary. Happy Thursday. How's Steve? Hope you had a good night's sleep and is feeling better. He is improving. Thank you for asking. So to do the surgery on his wrist, they had to put a blocker up in his shoulder, which means you can't lift your arm whatsoever. But I think by yesterday afternoon, he was able to do so, which I think was a big relief to him. So far, he's not feeling a whole lot of pain, but we are being regular on schedule to do his pain meds. I believe he's going to probably, I'm going to work today. I didn't yesterday. He'll probably want to go to work, and he'll probably drive himself, which he's not supposed to. But there it is. But so it's going to be like this until I think his first checkup is on March 11th. Fourth Consort by Edward Ashton. Dalton Graves is a hero. He's one of humankind's first representatives to Unity, a pan-species confederation working to bring all sentient life into a single benevolent brotherhood. That's what they told him anyway. The only actual members of Unity that he's ever met are Boro, a giant snail who seems more interested in plunder than spreading love and harmony, and Boro's human sidekick, Nira, who Dalton strongly suspects roped him into this gig so that she wouldn't become the next one of Boro's crew to get eaten by locals while prospecting. Funny thing, though, it turns out there actually is a benevolent confederation out there working for the good of all life. They call themselves the Assembly, and they really don't like Unity. More to the point, they really, really don't like Unity's new human minions. The Otherwhere Post by Emily J. Taylor. 7 years ago, Maeve Abenthy lost everything, her world, her father, and even her name. Desperate to escape the stain of her father's crimes, she lives under a fake name, never staying in one place long enough to put down roots. Then she receives a mysterious letter with 4 impossible words. Your father was innocent. To uncover the truth, she poses as an apprentice for the Otherwhere post, where she'll train in the art of scriptomancy, the dangerous magic that allows couriers to enchant letters and deliver them to other worlds. But looking into her father's past draws more attention than she planned. Sorry, first paragraph plan isn't working out that great. Good afternoon, Helen. How's it going? Mary says, always smart to get ahead of the pain before it totally manifests itself. That's what the doctor was saying for sure. Hard to chase it. Glad to hear that he can move his arm now. Must have been scary. I think it really was. I think it really was. And Mary says, hi, Helen. Hi, Ariel. Good morning. Hope Steve is doing well. He is improving. Thank you. It will be several weeks, but that's why they call them accidents. Rick Warden presents A Touch of Blood. Now, I believe this is in one of the worlds of one of Rick Warden's series. With his permission, this author is, as it says here, endorsed by Rick Warden, author of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, so it's set in that world. Gods are made, not born. Before Manisha, the youngest of three sisters, was sent to hide on the floating mountain, her eldest sister Ashani made a deal with the Shades. In order to save her people in the midst of a tragic war, she exchanged her life for theirs. Now, years later, the Shades claim their due, dragging Ashani into the nightmare realm, where she must find the gatekeeper to fulfill her end of the bargain. Nothing is as it seems in a land filled with ravenous monsters, ghoulish residents, and a river full of dead. But most terrifying of all is the Shadow King, who intends to use Ashani to obtain immortality. As it turns out, Ashani, nicknamed Little Goddess of Spring, is the key to fulfilling the Nightmare Realm's prophecy. There's only one person who can help Ashani escape, and he has his own problems. So, in the Persephone myth line, end of row 1. And Elena says, good morning to Mary. A Circle of Uncommon Witches by Paige Crutcher. A witch generationally cursed to never find true love sets out to break the spell cast on her family and must team up with the last person who wants to help her, the witch who set the curse in the first place. Love it. Great summary. Let's move on. Dance of Shadows by Gaurav Mohanty, second in the Rag of Rata. As the royal houses of Sons of Darkness intrigued, maneuvered, and finally met in open battle with devastating consequences, far more sinister deeds are unfolding just over the eastern horizon. Dance of Shadows is that story. A fragile armistice may hold in the west, but everyone knows it cannot last. In the tree cities of the east, a conclave of peace has assembled to secure the future of the realm. But the delegates, deaf swordswomen and exiled snakelings, spoiled heroes and lovesick princes, immortal assassins, and their apprentices will find no sun to light their path. Snakelings. Destiny's Way by Jack Campbell. Second in the Doomed Earth duology, second and last. Earth was destroyed on June 12, 2180. Lieutenant Selina Genji watched it happen, and only she can prevent it. Thrown 40 years into the past, into a time before the Universal War began, Genji can only guess what to do to change the events that led to the death of all humanity. She has no way of knowing the long-term impacts of her actions and can only depend on her instincts. But many of the people Genji is trying to save want her dead. Her creation was an experiment, a fusing of human and alien DNA. To them, she's a monster who can't be trusted, a tool of the aliens who have just made first contact, etc., etc. Eternal Magic, Magic for Hire, book number 3 by Alexandra Ivy. This is Magic for Hire series, where the witches of a small New Jersey bookstore go up against a subtle and gruesome evil, and one woman changes her destiny forever. Maya Rosen has plenty of experience with vampires, demons, and dangers. She wears the scars that prove it, but she established Witches Brew, her bookshop and mage's office, as a cozy place of safety and protection when the brutally handsome vampire Raver appears. Decades after she thought he died in the ruins of her master's lair, Maya is prepared for a fight until he saves her life instead, and they realize they have an enemy in common. End of row 2. And Mary says hi to Ariel. On Friday, can we do some of the romance that we missed yesterday? If not, no problem, but I thought I would ask. Don't have to do them all, just a smattering. I was going to try to do them today. Yes, we will do romance. We'll get to them all, but I'm going to do my best to get to the first ones today. It is okay to ask. Kiss of the Basilisk by Lindsay Straub, first in the Split or Swallow series. 20-year-old Temperance Varys has never been kissed, and that's what the basilisk is for. Along with 13 other contestants, Tem must train with a basilisk to learn the power of seduction and win the prince's hand in marriage. When Tem is matched with Caspin, the Serpent King, she realizes she might actually stand a chance. A new book in the Star Wars world, Star Wars Mask of Fear, Reign of Empire series, first in that series by Alexander Freed. Before the rebellion, the Empire reigns, in book 1 of a trilogy told through the eyes of Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, and Saw Gerrera for fans of Andor. In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire for a safe and secure society. With one speech and thunderous applause, Chancellor Palpatine brought the era of the Republic crashing down. In its place rose the Galactic Empire. Across the galaxy, people rejoiced and celebrated the end of war and the promises of tomorrow, but that tomorrow was a lie. Instead, the galaxy became twisted by the cruel and fear of the Emperor's rule. You know what I mean? First Command by Michael Simon, first in series. An alien attack leaves them adrift in space. Survive, rebuild, and rejoin the war. Fresh out of the academy, Ensign Cole Jackson's first posting to freedom couldn't have come at a worse time. All over the Alliance, planets and colonies are suddenly under attack by the vicious Coven Empire. Freedom and her sister ship, Hood, are ambushed by alien warships, leaving Hood drifting dead in the void. Cole is ordered to salvage parts from the powerless Hood, but when he arrives on the unpowered Hulk, Freedom is called away, marooning him and a group of malcontent techs in deep space. That wasn't very nice. Jenny Schwartz has a new series. I've read this author. Stars Die, first in the Cauldron Parliament series. Welcome to Cauldron Parliament, Golden Age mysteries in the realm of science fiction and fantasy. I'm already intrigued by this one. I've checked out our website. Recalled from the frontier, the new warden of Cauldron Parliament is well aware she's not a popular choice, but she never expected to portal into a murder scene. End of that row. Beneath the Dragon Eye Moons. So then, Mary, on Friday, we will do the rest of the romance and the rest of the cozy mysteries. If we don't get to everything there, we'll do an extra show on Saturday. 14th in the Beneath the Dragon Eye Moons series by Selkie Myth. I think that's a made-up name. The cycle comes to an end as the long-anticipated immortal war kicks off once again. Powerful immortals living for eternity have had centuries to millennia to build up their power, wary of their neighbors doing the same thing. When the first shot is fired, thousands of plans and doomsday weapons are unleashed, once again nearly scouring all life from the face of Palos. Elaine is having none of this nonsense. You go, Elaine. Honor Bound, fourth in the Project Gliese 581G series by S.E. Smith. The war of the future has begun. The past will not be forgotten. Some bonds are forged in honor. General Rowan Landis was raised to be a weapon forged in the fires of war by his father and uncle's ruthless ambition. Now branded a traitor, he's hunted across the galaxy by the very family that created him. Now this one I'm going to include, even though it was published last week, because the author here, Elizabeth Wheatley, might sound familiar to you if you watch the Book Goblin videos on YouTube or Facebook. I've shared those sometimes. She's very humorous. She not only does Book Goblin, but I love the Book Goblin ones. So this is her she's written other books, but this is a new series for her. This is called Tears of the Wolf. She usually does like a Nordic Viking kind of fantasy. Tears of the Wolf, series Wrath and Weeping. After the murder of her child, Bryn of the Istovari want nothing more than to escape the shackles of her birthright. As a sorceress and the last of a once great bloodline, many still seek to use her for their own schemes. Bryn will do anything for the chance at freedom, even if it means marrying an upstart warrior from the far north, etc. But if you do watch the Book Goblin, that is her book, her newest. Last one in fantasy and science fiction, Direbound by Sable Sorensen, first in the Wolves of Ruin. Only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. Marin Cooper has never dreamed of being one of the bonded, the king's elite warriors who form mental links with massive, vicious direwolves. She's made peace with her life, scraping by in poverty in the shadows of the castle. But then her younger sister, Sayla, is kidnapped, stolen across the border by the immortal monsters her country has spent centuries fighting, and Marin's world falls apart. Oh, Ratten. Let's look at romance. Mary says, like the cover of Stars Die. Yeah, and I like that author. I've read a couple series by her. We have to get books if we're going to be booking monsters. Therefore, we put in the time. All right, first up, romance. While the Duke was sleeping, they look happy with each other. This is by Samara Parrish. In this whirlwind Regency romance, a woman with a secret identity and a rakish bachelor find themselves unable to resist each other. Perfect for fans of Bridgerton. When Adele Roseburn must impersonate her mistress for a few days, it doesn't seem like it'll be a difficult task, even if her mistress's supposed fiancé is in a coma. All she has to do is wait until he wakes up and then convince him to retract the proposal, thereby he's been in a coma. He's not thinking about things like that, girl. Thereby securing a tidy reward. What she doesn't count on is the arrival of the Duke's brother and his damned inconvenient interest in her affairs. But does it really matter? She'll be gone before he finds out the truth. Rhett Montgomery knows two things: that he is woefully unprepared to take over the dukedom, and that the woman who claims to be his brother's betrothed is not who she says she is. No debutante swears so fiercely or kisses with such recklessness. Really? Do you know many? Investigating is what any good brother would do, isn't it? As long as he doesn't start falling for her charms as well. Unlikely Story by Allie Rosen. A swoon-worthy romance bursting with wit about a therapist who falls for the wrong man, but perhaps the right one was hiding in the margins all along. As a relationship therapist, Nora helps patients explore their feelings honestly, but she's hiding an embarrassing relationship secret of her own. She's in love with someone she's never even met. Jay edits the advice column Nora's been writing anonymously for the last 7 years. He's in London, she's in New York, and they communicate solely through shared files. When he confides that his girlfriend's out of the picture and her boss asks her to come to London, Nora takes both as a sign. But that's not the only thing on her mind. A client's ex-boyfriend just moved into her co-op directly beneath her. Eli blames Nora for his breakup and seems determined to make her life miserable, gleefully planning a noisy renovation, etc. Oh, we got another dress one, Mary. Big dress. Oh, and no shirt. Those shirts, they just fall off. And she said, yes, my pretty dress. And we have another pretty dress. This one's blue, and his shirt's falling off. And she's like, let me touch your chest. The Devil's Charm by Megan Frampton, first in the Heirs and Spares series. Opposites attract when a devilish lord and a rule-following young lady from rival families find themselves inexplicably drawn to one another. One night he cannot forget. Lord Lucian Blackwood, second son of the Duke of Wexford, has assumed all the responsibility of a spare, meaning it's his duty to seduce all the women, really, win vast sums at gaming, and appear gorgeously clothed for any occasion. Is that really written down somewhere? He doesn't expect his friend's wedding to be any different, but then he meets and kisses her. Even more delicious is that she is the daughter of his rigid father's longtime enemy, and now Lucian and Lady Diantha are tasked with working together on a project that will heal the rift. One night she can't help but remember. Lady Diantha Courtney always does the right thing. She wears the proper clothes. She speaks to the right people. She smiles exactly the right amount. When she attends her friend's wedding, however, she sees a gentleman who makes her want to do all the wrong things with him. The next morning, she is appalled and sets herself back on course to being the most proper young lady, relieved she now has a family project to focus on. She thought she was safe from that other Diantha until she realizes she'll be working with him. The Charlie Method. Yes, that's my kind of cover. Oh, shoot. Grab time. All right, so here's the plan. I can't go any longer today because I was out yesterday. I have to go get the mail, etc., etc. We will tomorrow continue with romance, continue with cozy mysteries because there were a lot of them on Monday, and we probably will not get to them all, so we'll have an extra show on Saturday morning. I'm not sure of the time, probably closer to, let's see, Eastern time, 9 or 10. It'll be 7-ish my time. So, but I'll post it up so you can find it on YouTube. All right. Thank you guys. Again, sorry for yesterday. The internet was out in my area. And sorry about sprints on Tuesday. We didn't get home from Steve's surgery until almost 8 o'clock my time, which is almost 10 o'clock Eastern time. But we do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They'll go for 2.5 hours. And so I appreciate your patience very much. Are you guys, if you're okay for the Saturday show, I'm thankful for that. Mary says, thanks so much to see everybody today and have a great day. All right. Please, everybody, take care of yourselves, read good books, and as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.